class, before we're going to start our lesson for today, let's have a prayer. Okay, everybody is requested to stand. Let us put ourselves in the holy presence of God, in the name of the Father, of the Son, of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Okay, once again, good morning everybody. Good morning class. By the way, I am April Campus Lahansha, your pre-service teacher, handling math subject. I am very glad to be with you and let us make us enjoy while learning. Can you do that? Okay, and now let's check your attendance first. Who is absent? Wow, very good. For that, let's have a round of applause. And now, let's proceed to the classroom rules. Please be guided with these gentle class rules. The first one is always follow health protocols. Second, respect everyone. Third, do not talk when somebody is talking. Number 4, raise your hand if you want to answer. And 5th, avoid making unnecessary noise. 6, participate in all group activities. And the last but not the least is to enjoy while learning. Are all these class rules clear as crystal or clear as canal? Okay, very good. I hope that you will follow all of these class rules. Are you all ready for our next lesson? But before that, what was our previous topic all about? Anyone? Okay, very good. By the way, what is classical period? Very good, class. Do you have any doubts and queries with regards to our previous topic? Great. Okay, now let's proceed to the motivational game. So now, my activity is all about the cabbage relay game. So this game can be played by passing an improvised cabbage while the music is playing. Okay, the students who holds the cabbage when the music stops have to peel one strip from the cabbage and then answer the question within it. Is that clear? Okay, it's clear as crystal. Within the given period, you are expected to first, you have to discuss the setting, composition, role of composers and audience during Romantic era. Second, explore other sources such as media and arts that portray Romantic period, and of course to perform related activities. Welcome to the music and the Romantic period 1820 to 1910. Romantic period is described as a cultural movement that stresses emotion, imagination, individualism, and freedom of expression. Nationalism was also incorporated in the music of the Romantic period. Nationalism in terms of being patriotic, having strong feeling for one's nation, and expressing excessive pride in one's country or culture. So most of the musical composition of the era portrayed literature, history, emotions, and nature. Now, let's proceed to the 3 components of Romantic era. The first one is the violin and string music, second is the piano music, and the third one is the program music. Violin and string music. The first composer is Niccolò Paganini. He was born on October 27, 1782 in Genoa, Italy. His musical started with playing the mandolin at the age of 5. He eventually transferred his training to the violin at the age of 7 with different violin professors in Italy. Paganini became the most famous violin virtuoso in the world. His composition inspired a lot of other composers such as Franz Liszt, Frederick Chopin, and Robert Schumann. So these are the some works of Niccolo Paganini. The first one is the La Campanella. Second is the 24 Caprias for solo violin op. 1. Next is the Concerto Number 1 and op. 6. Next is the 15 quartets for guitar and string trio and the Carnival of Venice. So now let's proceed to the piano music. Okay, piano music pertains to the sheet music to be played on the piano. So piano music of the Romantic period was filled with innovations. Most of the composition require a high level of virtuosity. Some were reinvention of sonatas from the classical era. And today, some piano compositions from the Romantic period have been adapted into songs. An example of this, Chopin's Etude Op. 10 Number 3 in E major that was used for the song No Other Love. Next composer is Frédéric Chopin. Okay, he was known as the poet of the piano. He was born on March 1, 1810 in Zelazowa, Poland. Frédéric Chopin began to play piano at the age of 4. He composed Polonaise at the age of 7, and he studied piano at Warsaw Conservatory, and most of his music was influenced by folk music. He finished his formal education at the higher school in 1829 and soon traveled to Europe, giving concerts in places such as Vienna, Munich, Paris, and London. So he wrote almost exclusively for piano. He made extensive use of piano pedal in most of his compositions, and some of his music is characterized by its beautiful tone, rhythmic flexibility, grace, and elegance. Okay, and some of his compositions, like mazurkas and Polonaise, expressed his love for Poland. So this is his famous composed music in that era. Okay, the first one is the ballade, a verse form or narrative that is set to music. Second is the etude, a piece composed for the development of a specific technique. Next is the mazurka. It is a Polish dance in triple time signature. And nocturne, an instrumental composition of a pensive, dreamy, and mood for the piano. And Polonaise, it is a slow Polish dance and a triple time that consists of march or procession. Next is the prelude, a short piece of music that can be used as the preface and introduction to another work or may stand on its own. And of course, our very own waltz, a German dance in triple meter. And of course, there's more. It is impromptu. It is a short free-form musical composition. It is usually for a solo instrument like the piano. Next is the zerzu, a musical movement or is a playful character, typically in ABBA form. And of course, the sonata. It is composition for one or more solo instruments, usually consisting of 3 or 4 independent movements, varying in key, mood, and tempo. Next person is Franz Liszt. Okay, the best word that describes the work of Franz Liszt is virtuosity. He was known as the virtuoso pianist, a composer, and the busiest musician during the Romantic era. Okay, he played and studied in Vienna and Paris while performing in concerts in the rest of Europe. So a turning point came when in his early 20s, least hear the virtuoso violist Niccolo Paganini perform, so he decided to dedicate himself in becoming a virtuoso pianist. Okay, he was known for his symphonic poems, where he translated great literary works into musical composition. He also made piano transcriptions of operas and famous symphonies. Many of his piano compositions are technically challenging pieces. So these are some Liszt piano works. Okay, the first is the La Campanella. Next is Liebestraum, number 3. Next is Liszt Hungarian Rhapsodies, were originally written for solo piano, but many were arranged for orchestra or other combination of instruments. Okay, the Hungarian Rhapsody number 2 is the most popular and was the basis for the Tom and Jerry cartoon called The Cat Concerto. And of course, the Ansus Peru Sonata in B minor, arrangement of the 9 Beethoven symphonies, and transcription of Lieder by Escobar. And for orchestral composition, he also wrote symphonic poems, which is the Hamlet Les Preludes. And the last person in the violin and string music is Robert Schumann. Okay, he is one of the famous romantic composer that beautifully combined music and words in Robert Schumann. Okay, he was a composer and music critic. He spent most of his time with musical and literary circles through the efforts of Friedrich Wieck, who took some time to teach Schumann how to play the piano. It was in 1834 when Schumann founded a music journal wherein he edited and wrote music criticism for his publication. So he wrote numerous write-ups, and one of which was the performance of Frédéric Chopin in Paris, France. In his journal, Schumann often wrote under 2 pseudonyms: Euvasos, his sensitive and lyrical side, and Floristan, his fairy and stormy side. So his piano works is a big variation, Opus 1 in 1830. Next is the Beats Bundeler Dance, or it is the dance of the band of the beat, Opus 6, 1837. Carnival, Opus 9, 1835. It is a portrait of a masked ball attended by his allies and his beloved Clara. And Fantasy Stop, Opus 12, 1837, a series of mood pieces. So, Kreisleriana, Opus 16, 1838, a fantasy on a Kapellmeister. And the last is Kindersingen, Opus 15, 1838. It is a poetic series of mad Kapellmeister evocations of a child's world. And of course, one more thing, he wrote over 100 art songs, and these are the 2. It is the A Woman, Love and Life. And the second is A Poet's Love. It is Dexter Libby. So that is, they called it in that poem. So next is the orchestral music. Orchestral music. The first one is the Piano Concerto in A minor, Opus 54. Second is the Overture, Zerzu. Second is the Finale, Opus 52, a mini symphony, and Concertstock in F major for 4 horns on orchestra, Opus 86. So now let's proceed to the program music. Program music is an instrumental composition that conveys images or scenes to tell a short story within text or lyrics. So it entices the imagination of the listener. The first composer is Hector Berlioz. He is a French romantic composer born on December 11, 1803. At his young age, he learned to play guitar and flute, but never became skilled in a specific musical instrument. One of his famous musical compositions is a 5-movement symphony called Symphonie Fantastique. In this composition, which is also known as Fantastic Symphony, Berlioz showcased the importance picture in his composition in creating tone color. He assembled hundreds of musicians to produce a powerful sound. In most of his compositions, he made tone color as a basic part of his musical language. So now this is the story of Symphonie Fantastique. Okay, let me read to you. Okay, a young, extremely sensitive and imaginative musician tries to kill himself with opium due to depression caused by discouraged love. Unfortunately, the dose was not enough and does not kill him, but instead floods himself into a heavy sleep locked with nightmares. His experiences, feelings, and memories are translated into hallucinations of musical thoughts and images. The girl he loves was transformed into a melody and like a recurring theme. He meets and hears everywhere. Each movement of the symphony refers to the different vision in the young musician mind. So the next is Peter Tchaikovsky. Was born on May 7, 1840 in Vitebsk, Russia. Was known for his ballet music. As a big fan of Mozart, Tchaikovsky studied composition with Anton Rubinstein and moved to Moscow and started teaching at the new conservatory. He continued his music career in New York and became famous after composing the musical poem Pathom and Romeo and Juliet. He composed haunting melodies and used a great deal of folk music in his symphonic works. Unfortunately, there was very few surviving manuscripts written by Tchaikovsky. His fame peaked in the last 10 years of his life and later died due to cholera. Tchaikovsky's famous composition. First is the Swan Lake, Sleeping Beauty, The Nutcracker, Romeo and Juliet, 1812 Overture, Symphony No. 2, Symphony No. 6, Pathetic, and Piano Concerto No. 1. So now let's proceed to Camille Saint-Saëns. He is known as the talented musician from an early age. He was born in Paris on October 9, 1835, and started his music through the help of his aunt by teaching him piano lesson when he was only 2 years old, and afterward he began composing piano pieces at age 3. Okay, he was considered as a composer who created elegant music, neat, clean, polished, and never excessive. One of these examples is this one. Okay, as an organist and one of the best pianists of his time, he sat very still at the piano and played gracefully and cool. Okay, his best known music of Camille Saint-Saëns. Okay, it is the Carnival of the Animals, Danse Macabre, and his Symphony No. 3, and The Swan. Okay, and over 300 works. It is usually in all genres, and it is including first is the 3 opera Samson and Delilah and the Only One Remembered, 5 symphonies, best known number 3, the Organ Symphony, 3 concertos for violin and orchestra, 5 concerto for piano and orchestra, 2 concertos for cello and orchestra organ music, numerous pieces for the piano, approximately 100 songs, chamber music, and sacred music including the requiem. So that will be all for our discussion, and I hope you've learned a lot. And for now, I have prepared something. So this is an activity time. Okay? Very good. Okay, time's up. The activity is done, and now I'm gonna leave you some assignment. Now I have leave you some assignment. Direction: Rien to Cecile Lico performing Frédéric Chopin Etude Op. 10-12, and answer the following question. Write your answer on the separate sheet of paper. So I have prepared a YouTube link here, and you're gonna answer the question in your paper, okay? And that will be all. Thank you for listening, and I hope you've learned a lot from my discussion. God bless!